Hello everyone, no respawns, hope you're doing well. So I am in Fortnite, finally. It's pretty cool, I've been playing around with it all day. And obviously the most interesting for me is the building feature, and I wanted to just do a quick video on basically the basics of how the building feature works, the various nuances, because it is initially quite confusing even with the tutorials. It doesn't really kind of explain many of the quirks, and like a lot of you, I was very confused for quite a while. Now, just for the record, if you're wondering where I am in the Storm Shield area, which basically you unlock going through the tutorial. If you ever want to revisit here again, you have to select it from the map. I was a bit confused at first because this is effectively your free building area where there's no constraints of doing quests, though I think you do come back to do quests here. So just as an FYI. Also, you gather resources throughout the entirety of your play. So, for example, a lot of the resources I've got now, I've actually gathered outside in the quests, and they carry through. So when you're doing quests, for example, like I wished I picked up more steel in the opening of the game because there were cars everywhere, which is really annoying. However, I know I will get an opportunity to get them more of them again. Also, with regards to this giant shield, I'm not sure, but I'm almost 98% certain that as I progress throughout the game, I get to expand this build area and it will unlock more different landscapes. The reason being, if you look on the map, you can see, for example, I can see like a little town cul-de-sac area, which I know is going to be full of cars, and so then I can get steel a little bit more easier. Anyway, let's just demonstrate the building function, because it's quite cool. So, you get 4 different building pieces, which are walls, floors, stairs, and roofs. And they come in 3 different building materials. So I've got wood, stone, and steel. Obviously, steel is the one that you want, and that goes in terms of their strength as well. So 190 HP, 280 HP, and 370 HP. Now, I don't have much steel, though obviously I do want to eventually build my entire base out of steel. Now, a quick note, annoyingly, though they will certainly add this feature in, there is no way to delete things beyond actually just smashing them up. So if I'll demonstrate with a chest high wall in a sec. But basically, you can't delete stuff. You have to actually manually trash it, which is really annoying. Now, the reason why I think they've done it currently that way now is because of this game, a lot of the building is done during attacks. If you can tear things down and quickly put things up a little bit too fast, it'll make the attacks less of a threat. I'm not going to show any in this video right now, but it does get quite hectic and it is quite fun. But I'll show you how you delete stuff. So, for example, I'll show you while I edit first. So let me show you here. Let me just, I'll explain what I'm doing in a sec. Let me just demonstrate something. So there we go. Confirm that. Place it down quickly, right? So to destroy stuff, that's how stuff builds, by the way. It builds up gradually. I have to do this. I deliberately did a small one so that it used up so much wood. It's a little bit annoying, but I'm almost certain they will change it. My recommendation to the devs, if you're watching and passes it on, is I think you should be able to store and immediately demolish buildings when you're outside of any hostile area. So, for example, if I haven't... Because the way the game normally works is you build up, then you activate to begin the attacks. You should be able to store and scrap things a bit easier during that period of building, because it is a bit annoying, especially when you're using some of the harder to find resources like steel, for example. Anyway, let me just show you how everything works. So I'm going to build a stone house over here, mainly because I'm going to do it over here because 1, there's space, and 2, because it's less of the rumbling from that stupid freaking giant storm shield thing. So as you can see, when you're building stuff in, it kind of, the health, it looks cool for starters, but the health kind of regenerates from 0, and then once it's done, it's fully built. I think that's a way to stop you building full health walls straight away, because that would make it easier. So, for example, if your enemies are attacking and you place a wall down, they're still going to start smashing it down while it's being built. It's a really good idea to make it a bit more dynamic. So, if you want to edit buildings, as you saw, so it starts off, that's what it starts off when it resets. If I want to add a doorway, I do this. Supposed to mean that's back. Oh, it's not backwards. They're just both directions. And if I want to add windows, I do this. So confirm. I can do stuff like that. Do I have much stone? I have enough stone. We're going to build one there, and we'll build one there. I don't want them next to each other. Okay, cool. And then we'll have this as walls. I'm going to build, like, a house with, like, a roof and a little tower on the top as well, just for the record. Right, so that's me showing you the walls and the floors. Let me show you the stairs. Now, the stairs you can edit. The stairs are fun, right? So, basically... Let me go again. So, basically, I'm going to hold down the trigger, right? And you see the arrows? That's the direction your stairs are going to. So, if I do this, and then go up like that, and then go up like that, I now have a staircase which goes all the way around, right? So you just kind of trace... That confused me like crazy when I first started. But basically... Oh, wait, damn it. So let me try again. So, that, for example, if I wanted one to go... Trace it out, and you trace it out, and then trace it out. Sorry for that siren that just went by. This is East London after all. Then you confirm it, and then I can rotate it as is. Voila. That took me a while to learn. It's a little bit confusing. It's when you're ever placing it, just pay attention to where the arrows are pointing. It does give you lots of feedback. It just might initially be a little bit confuzzling. So let's... One thing I really dislike, and unless I'm doing something wrong... But basically, so I can make little... Annoyingly, when you're editing the floors, it seems to auto-add barricades at the side. You can see that invisible wall right there. And currently, I don't know if you can get rid of it, which is a bit annoying because sometimes you may not want that wall piece there. But anyway, so I've built my little incredibly blocky, crappy house. I said I'm not going to really build anything funky in this instance. We're going to build a tower here. Spoiler. Confirm. Also, for some really annoying reason, they've got like a... Like, you notice the camera floating back to a random direction there? It's a little bit... It does that. Wait, where's the... There we go. That's what I want. And then we'll build like a doorway here. This is going to be like the shittest building ever, just for record. Right, okay. So now we're in here. So I get the roofs. I'm going to do a basic roof first. So it's all very ugly. You can obviously, it would probably be better and aesthetically more pleasing if you mixed resources together, whether I'm just building something that looks like ass. So with the roofs, I'm not going to... Let me just build it out again. So with the roofs, if I go to edit, you remove the part of the wall, so you see this thing? It changes the angle. So if I want to do that, basically the ones you select are where it raises up. It's pretty simple, really. So see, it's raised up there. It means it's pointing that direction. It means I can make like weird little inclined walls there. It's very straightforward. You just got to pay attention to how they work. Right. So let's make a few more of the incredibly mediocre but weirdly efficient railings. Confirm. Push, 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 push. Voila, there we go. So I've made a passable house, effectively, with a nice little windy staircase. Now, it's a bit dark as well. The game actually has actual day and night cycle, which can get a bit annoying. But the building structures are quite cool. It looks... What I like about it is everything looks ramshackle, even the stone. I keep harking back to Fallout when I think about stuff, but I'm glad it doesn't force me to... Do I have any traps whatsoever? I do not. Let's make some traps. Can I make some traps? Oopsie. Oh, where are we? Traps. So I can make traps. Okay, so I can make certain number of traps. Let's show you a few traps. I can't make these ones, which are really cool. But yeah, no, well, let me just quickly make some traps. So let's make wall darts. The way you crafting, basically, you want to explore all the levels. When I started building, I realized how much you want to explore, because for the traps, you need to pick up various resources within the game to actually make it work. Got 2 of those. And you can queue them up as well. So we've got wall ones, ceilings, and that'll do. I don't annoyingly have these. Those are really cool for wall spikes, but I don't actually have any resources for them. Okay, so let's open this up and I'll show you. So let's build a trap for when someone comes into my door. So pick ceiling trap. So we got a ceiling electric field or a ceiling zapper. Let's do the ceiling zapper. One thing I do like is they are going to town with the traps. I don't know how many there are. Let's make some. Let's change. Oh, wait. Let's pick the... Oh, it's the same one. Okay. So we've got the various different kinds of traps, which is quite cool. I'm not going to place all of them down because I actually might want to use these for an actual building, which is quite funky. And then you've also got the floor traps. So I pick floor traps. Retractable spikes. For example, I could even, like, stack traps if I'm guessing. Can I stack traps? I totally can. So there we go. Not only do they get, like, spiked up, but also they get zapped when they come in here as well. And then finally, because I'm a douche, so they're also going to be wall darts as well. This is basically a bit of a room of death. This is. I don't think I can put it there, can I? No, I can't. Actually, I can if I just do that confirm, and then I can put a spiky trap in. So basically, it's quite fun. It's quite fun. It's quite it's still a work in progress, definitely. And I don't know if I can. Can I? I need to approve building, which is interesting. There might be a.
Whoa, sorry.
There's still features I'm learning. But basically, I can't annoyingly jump through the windows, which is annoying. But it's quite cool. It's quite cool, the building feature so far. So as you can see, I've given you a basics, right? So you can, when you're building angled pieces, when you're editing them for the stairs, just pay attention to the arrows. With the ceilings, obviously pay attention to which part is the raised piece. With the floors and the walls work more or less the same, just you remove bits. The only thing with the floors right now, at least, is you're stuck with those irritating railings if you want to make a floor piece which is a smaller shape. However, it's quite simple to make something quite structurally cool. I'm looking forward to when I actually get some serious resources going together. I'm going to tear down this entire fort and make something a bit more flashy. But until that point, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. I hope you found this video a little bit more useful in terms of how the building function works. Any questions, leave a comment in the description. There will be a few things that I'm curious about as well. If anyone's got any additional pointers to add, that would be really appreciated. Anyway, I'll have a new Fallout video up soon, and obviously, apparently it's the next game day as well. And also a Fortnite video too. So you guys enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.